Hey folks, this is Rhykker with an Overwatch video on the new hero that has just been revealed today, Orisa. Here's a too long didn't watch version of this video. After a week and a half of teasers, a new female Omnic quadruped tank hero has been revealed, named Orisa, and the January leak has been proven to be correct. Okay, let's start with the obvious. Despite our best speculations, the new hero was not revealed on February the 28th. Instead, we just got another clue. I held off on making another video because I suspected that the reveal would happen by Thursday at the latest, and that's exactly what happened. And if you look back, it makes sense. Everything was 3 days apart. It started on Tuesday, February 21st, when we met Ify. And then on the 24th, Friday, we got the Doomfist airport teaser. Then on Tuesday the 28th, another 3 days later, we got another teaser, the list, which we'll go over in this video. And then today, another 3 days later, we get the new character reveal. Now, in our last video, we went over Doomfist's attack on Numbani Airport, where he destroyed the OR-15 units that protect the city of Numbani. From today's origin story video on Orisa, we have confirmation that it was in fact Doomfist that attacked the airport, that destroyed those robots, those Omnics, and presumably stole back the Doomfist gauntlet. Genius girl Ify, who was the start of all these teasers, then used a decommissioned OR-15 to build an improved version that she went on to name Orisa. The name is actually really clever. Take the name OR-15, remove the dash, and then change it into Leet speak. So the 1 would become a capital I, because that's what it looks like, and the 5 would become an S, because that's what it looks like. Now you have Oris. Make it a feminine name by adding an A at the end, Orisa. So our last speculation revolved around Ify being the creator of the new hero rather than the new hero herself, and this was basically confirmed with Tuesday's teaser clue. This is what we got. It was basically a list of components that Ify wanted in order to construct her new robot. So we gleaned from this list that she was using the OR-15s as a base upon which she'd build her robot. We didn't know what a Brantford arm was, but something to note, if you looked around in Numbani on the PTR, on the test server, you noticed that they were all missing an arm. And it was a Reddit user named Tetris that actually extracted those models and pieced them together to see sort of what the OR-15 looked like before it was destroyed, and he found that there just in fact wasn't any component for that missing arm piece. So we speculated that that missing arm was somehow related to the Brantford arm. Next on the list is the fusion driver, which I thought was just a power source, but I was wrong. More on that in a bit. And then we have a miniature Tobelstein reactor, which is what Zarya uses for her ult. Paint was just a color scheme, and the Axiom vocal processor just told us that her robot would speak, which is going to be pretty obvious. And it was crossed out from the list because she already acquired that component. It's that sort of RAM memory looking stick at the top there. And then the Lucios, or the Lucio-Os, I don't know why they're not Lucios. Missed opportunity, Blizzard. That's just cereal to munch on, just snacks. And you can see those pictured at the top left. It's not crossed out because she wants to buy more. Now, it's actually inside today's developer update video that we learn more about Orisa and what some of these parts were. Game director Jeff Kaplan explained that the fusion driver is not a power source as I thought, but rather it's her main weapon. It's that sort of machine gun arm that she has. It's projectile based, not hit scan, which means you actually have to lead your targets. The projectiles are dodgeable if you're moving fast enough. And its range is about as long as Zarya's secondary fire, that long beam she shoots out. Also, Orisa moves a little bit slower while she's firing her weapon. So in this case, if that's not the Brantford arm, what is a Brantford arm? Well, we don't know for sure, but it seems to be the arm that shoots out her protective barrier, which is sort of like a Reinhardt shield and a Winston bubble combined into one. She can shoot it close by or far away, and it basically deploys a energy wall. The mini Tobelstein reactor is her weapon's secondary fire mode, which launches a small graviton surge that sucks in enemies and pulls them together. But unlike Zarya's ult, it doesn't hold them in place for a long time, it just drops them. So it's a much weaker version, and it's intended for repositioning enemies rather than setting them up for some kind of massive wombo combo of team wiping ults. Orisa's ult is that drum on her back, and we actually saw that in that little schematic drawing on her to-do list. So Orisa grabs that drum, sets it down on the ground, and it buffs the damage of all allies within line of sight. However, like Symmetra's teleporter or shield generator, it can be destroyed by enemies. Her final power is Fortify, which temporarily makes her tougher and immune to crowd control effects. Now, everything that we learned today basically tells us that that leak from January, which we covered in past videos, was correct. Again, the leak said, contrary to speculation, Doomfist is not up next. This was correct. The upcoming character is a female omnic quadruped codenamed Anchora. Again, this was correct. The codename Anchora was just an internal name that Blizzard was using before they named the character. You gotta call a character something, you can't just keep saying Hero 24, so they're using the name Anchora internally before giving her her proper name, Orisa. In order to balance out the tank roster, the game needs another tank that acts as an anchor, like Reinhardt. In today's video, Jeff used that exact verbiage. And in fact, he wouldn't stop using the word anchor.
But we were spending a lot of time looking at Reinhardt and saying, what really defines Reinhardt and why is he so important and critical to Overwatch? And we started to describe Reinhardt, the term that we would use on the development team was we'd call him an anchor tank. And what we mean by that is that Reinhardt almost anchors the entire team. The team, with a properly positioned Reinhardt, the team builds and positions around Reinhardt. So we like this idea of what we kept calling an anchor tank. And we felt like players needed more options in that sort of anchor tank role. Most of all, we just wanted to bring a new and exciting hero to Overwatch. Not only does she fill a role that we felt was very needed, not just a tank, but one of these anchor tanks that you really build a team around.
Anchora hails from Numbani and has a West African accent. Correct again. Although I can't say for sure whether her accent is specifically West African, but I think we can safely say that this leak was correct. And that means that the other two main things that this leak said may turn out to be true as well, which is that May will be the next to receive a cinematic short, and that Doomfist will be, quote, a black guy. Orisa is currently on the test servers for us to try out, and we can expect her to be up there for 2 weeks before she is released, because that's what happened with Sombra and with Ana. I would have liked to include gameplay footage in this video, but my test server client is really acting up, so stay tuned for another video in which we'll have some Orisa gameplay. Now, I just want to finish off by briefly talking about the Sombra conspiracy web. Could we have our answer for what the connection is between Numbani and Volskaya Industries? Is it the Tobelstein reactor? We don't know for sure, but leave your thoughts. And that wraps up this video. Leave a comment with your thoughts on all this. Do you like Orisa? Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. If you like this video, please share it. Check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rhykkers Raiders for more Overwatch content.